we're going to stop at 36, right? The big thing is it's not, how many different combinations that or, how elaborate they are, or complicated, or all of that stuff. That's not the point. I hope what you get from these videos is that the combination is, in a sense, like striking, right? If I say I'm a boxer and I'm leading with my jab all the time, right? I use that to close distance, maintain distance, create distance. I use it to create openings, right? At the same time, I can also use it to strike the person and potentially even take them out just with the jab, right? Well, in a sense, the throws are the same way, right? As I've shared, there's a few dozen different throws. There's going to be a few that you really like, that you can work well with your body and how you can do things, right? And say you pick that one throw and you try to execute the throw, and the person moves, they change the position, they push against you, they try to neutralize it, whatever. And from there, you try to work and understand how to create a connection with that throw with another one. To make a combination. If you take it from that perspective, then you will wrestle less. Meaning, get in here and you're just pushing and pushing and pulling and trying to use energy and trying to force an action, right? The more that I focus on the idea of a combination, I'm less likely to do that, right? He pushes it forward, and I turn and I do something, right? Or he pulls, right? He pulls me, and I do something. That if you get out of the mindset of just push and pull, or try to force energy, or try to use all your speed, and you focus more on skills, right? Take advantage of those situations where the other person uses their energy, or do something yourself to elicit a response, right? Meaning, just the same way with the kicking and striking we do. I kick, I strike, whatever, I close the distance on the guy, right? To get a hold of him. And from here, if he throws a punch with the other hand, I try to block it, right? Wrap him up, or whatever it is. If you take Shuai Chiao from that viewpoint, and you will use less energy, you will be able to contend more effectively with someone potentially larger than you. You can change the timing and be able to deal with somebody that's faster than you. All of those things are a benefit. And it's not about collecting combinations, okay? If you're instructing someone, or a group of people, then you need a volume of movements to be able to share. It's not about you and at that level, right? When you're sharing it to someone else, yes, it's about your experiences, but you also want to be able to have movements for the guy that's 6'5" or the guy that's 5'6". You also want to be able to have movements that work for the super trim guy or the super heavy guy, right? So it goes beyond you. But the combos, it's practicing combinations so that you get the idea, you become aware of it. But again, you've got that, we'll say that 1 to 3 throws that you really like, that you feel that work well for you, and then it's trying to exhaust the variables, meaning, okay, if I do this move, he can take the leg away like this. He can step like this. He can also counter me, right? So he can counter me with a throw. Well, then how do I counter his counter? If you address it like that, your skill level will go from here to here. If you just keep, you need to expand the base well enough that you understand the idea of body throws, non-body throws, all of that stuff. should start reducing, right? Then you start picking the pieces that benefit you, that fit your body type in a way that you think, and then you try to take those single throws and you try to start enhancing them, through to developing your skills, right? And then if you can take those and reduce them down to combinations, right? Well, this is my single, but I like the way it works with these 2 to 3 throws, right? Because with this situation, say cut, right? He can maybe step backwards, right, and then I go this one, right? Or maybe he pushes his weight forward, right? And so I want to come this way, right? I don't know, I go like this and he reaches down and he grabs my leg, right? This side, yeah, there you go. And then, maybe I try to deal with the situation or rap on it. But what I'm sharing with you, take it that way. Yes, you will have a much smaller group of material to work with, but it'll fit your needs. You will address we'll say the probable situations that may come up from you trying to execute this movement. Now, whether you do that in sport wrestling with a jacket, or you do that in the sport of sanda, or you do it in Shuai Chiao for sancho, freestyle for street application. If you simplify it down to something like that, you're going to get much better results for the long term. So I think the last video we did was about 25 combos. And we're going to just go over some different ones. I've written some ones up here on the board. We did a video a little while back over rugging. And so we're going to do a few from that. And I'm just going to keep track by making a hash mark. So I remember how many we've done. I think we need 11 to get to 36, right? So we're going to try to do that through this video. Maybe it's going to be long, but just break it down and watch it if you need or if you want. And so we're going to start with rubbing and